Welcome to ThirdBrain FX weekly webinar. The topic of this webinar will be Strategy Jupiter in its profitable performance since inception. We will also review later on the strategies with best performance in the last 7 days. Most of our followers know very well Strategy Jupiter, so I will go directly to the custom filter. Choose 24 months because this is the longest period we can choose. Unfortunately, we cannot choose to see the results with one particular strategy since inception, but we will be able to see this in a minute, just after we select the strategy and see the first results. When you click on the strategy name, a strategy card opens and you can check the results since inception with all the currency pairs available in the MirrorTrader platform. Of course, we will see the results sorted by T-score. So we will click on pips in order to sort the results by pips gained since the strategy was released on the market, which was in August 2011, almost 3 years ago. And we see the most successful currency pair with Jupiter is Euro-Canadian dollar. This is the amount of pips gained in the past 24 months. All the results we see here are for time frame 24 months. So we have to click on the name in order to open the strategy card, and then we will be able to see the results since inception. And we see the amount of pips is completely different. In the past 2 years and 8 months since the strategy was released, Jupiter with this particular currency pair Euro-Canadian managed to gain 15,261 pips. Very good performance, and if you have a look at the strategy curve, you will notice that there have not been any drastic changes in the strategy direction, no big drawdown periods, very smooth, very profitable and stable performance. I will click on statistics in order to see some of the main results like max DD, total pips, profit factor and risk adjustment rate. Actually, the risk adjustment rate is not presented here in the strategy card, but it's always good to have a look at this criteria when you're looking for 6, 12, 24 months results. The risk adjustment rate is actually the total amount of pips, the total profit divided by max DD. In this case, in our case, the total amount of pips gained is over 15,000 and the max DD for the past nearly 3 years is only 1,000 pips, which is nothing. This is why we have 14.55 risk adjustment rate, which means that the total profit is nearly 15 times higher than the loss, which is obvious looking at the results in the strategy card. Of course, this is leading to high ratio profits to losses, 3.71. As you know, everything above 1 is counted as good results, so profit factor of nearly 4 is very, very good. It's more than satisfying. We can definitely say that Jupiter with Euro-Canadian has been very, very profitable and very reliable strategy in the past 3 years. We will check the results in the past 24 months. And what we see actually is even better performance with higher profit factor, higher risk adjustment rate. The total profit is 10,418 pips, and we only have 529 pips max DD in the past 24 months. The total profit here is actually almost 20 times higher than the loss, which is incredible. Absolutely brilliant performance. We can say nothing but profitable to this expert advisor with this particular currency pair. Very, very profitable, and the ratio profits to losses is slightly higher than the ratio profits to losses mentioned before. Since inception, it's 3.68. We have quite high winning rate, 75% of the positions have been closed with positive direction. So indeed, this is one of the currency pairs that it's worth having in your portfolio with Strategy Jupiter. We'll have a look at the past 12 months and see if this profitable and positive performance continues. Indeed, we have 3,600 pips gained, and the max DD is quite low again. The risk adjustment rate is nearly 7, which means that the profit is 7 times higher than the loss. We can definitely say that it's not accidental. This great performance is not just for 2 or 3 months, is more or less all the time. 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's incredible actually. In 3 years to have only 500 pips losses and to gain over 15,000 pips. Absolutely brilliant performance with Jupiter. As I said at the beginning, most of our followers know Jupiter very well with different currency pairs, and our clients know that Jupiter usually have either 0 or minimum very reasonable max DD, and usually the ratio profits to losses is quite high with this expert advisor. Number 2 in the rank list according to the pips gained is Jupiter with AUD/USD. We see the amount of pips gained in the past 24 months, but we would like to see what is the total profit since the strategy was created. We see the same start date, 30th of August 2011, which is 2 years and 8 months ago. Let's have a look what is the situation since inception. Since inception we have 8,142 pips. The ratio profits to losses is 1.56, which is good. As we said, everything over 1 is counted as positive, as good profit factor. In the last 24 months, we see that the ratio profits to losses is much higher. It's 4.33. This is because we have pretty much the same amount of pips gained, just slightly bigger, 8,832, and the max DD is much lower, is 1,345. Here, in this case with AUD/USD, we can see that the risk adjustment rate is 6.57, which means that the total profit is more than 6 times higher than the loss, which is obvious. Actually, the max DD is around 1,000 and the total profit nearly 9,000, which is very good performance in such a long period of time. Let's quickly have a look at the results in the past 12 months. Again, the picture is very good. The performance is more than satisfying. Nearly 4,000 pips gained with only 500 pips lost. And the ratio profits to losses is again nearly 4, which is quite high, quite good. Of course, we should not expect anything different than profit and stable performance with Jupiter, because it's one of the most popular current strategies, along with Athena, Thor, and ThirdBrain FX. Of course, on the river also have good performance in long term. I will review the performance with one last currency pair, GBP GPY, because if you just scroll down and have a quick look at the results, you see that the max DD is quite reasonable with almost all currency pairs, considering that these are the results for the past 24 months. And the risk adjustment rate is also good when you see the total profit and the max DD. We can definitely say that the ratio profits to losses should be quite high. I will click on Jupiter GBP GPY. We all know that this strategy have been performing very well in the past 6-12 months. Let's have a look what is the performance with this particular currency pair GBP GPY since inception. It's a long period of time, 3 years, so to have a stable performance with low max DD in such a long period is very good performance. Indeed, we can afford to have Jupiter with one of the first 3 currency pairs available here and let it run for months, for at least 6 or 12 months, and we can definitely rely on it and not worry about the performance or about some drastic sudden changes in the strategy direction. Even if we have some negative close positions, the strategy quickly recover from the losses, and you know that usually they are very small, if there are any losses at all, because we have seen good results with Jupiter with different currency pairs with 100% winning rate in the past 6 months. So let's have a look at the statistics here. The total amount of pips gained since inception is 12,120 pips, and the max DD is 3,132. In this case, actually, the total profit is almost 4 times higher than the loss, which is very good, and the ratio profits to losses is nearly 2. Of course, good profits, small losses is leading to high ratio profits to losses. It's understandable. We can see that the T-score with of Jupiter with this particular currency pair GBP GPY is quite high, 9.13, which is absolutely deservedly, because Jupiter deserves to be in top 3 of the strategies in the Mirror Trader platform. This reminds me that according to the Mirror Trader researches concerning the public platform, in the past 12 months, 14 out of 20 strategies with best performance belong to ThirdBrain FX, and the picture is pretty much the same in the past 24 months regarding the same Mirror Trader research. 15 out of 20 strategies, most profitable strategies available in the Mirror Trader platform, belong again to our company. Strategies like On the River with a couple of different currency pairs, Morning Bull, Evening Bear, and ThirdBrain FX Audi USD amongst the best strategies available in the Mirror Trader platform, in the public platform. Of course, if you want to use strategies like Jupiter, the one we are talking about now, you need to be part of our premium zone. And if you're interested to become part of our premium platform, you can find the information on our website thirdbrainfx.com. Of course, ThirdBrainFX have quite a lot of profitable long-term strategies available in the public platform, and we also have some very powerful and professional strategies available in our premium platform. Right, we will go back now to the Jupiter GBP GPY and its strategy card. We will have a look at the results in the past 12 months. We see that in the past year we have 6,000 and nearly 600 pips gained and only 2,000 pips losses. Of course, the ratio profits to losses is high again, it's 2.24, and we have nearly 70% winning rate. I'm pretty much certain that the performance in the past 6 months is similar. Actually, the results are even better because we have 5,000 pips, over 5,000 pips profit and only 274 pips losses. This is why the profit factor is so incredibly high, 10.63, and the risk adjustment rate is 18.92, which means that the total profit is almost 19 times higher than the loss. We can definitely say that it's worth having Jupiter with this particular currency couple in our portfolio, as well as the other two currency pairs I already mentioned, Euro Canadian and Audi USD, again with expert advisor Jupiter. Of course, if you want and if you are interested, and if you are happy with the performance of this expert advisor, you can have a look at the results with all the currency pairs, or at least the top 10 currency pairs, and decide which one suits your goals and which one you prefer to have in your portfolio, because we cannot review the performance with all the currency pairs. As you can see here, we have 34 results, which means that expert advisor Jupiter is available in the MirrorTrader platform with 34 different currency couples. So you can take your time and check the results, but what could we definitely say is that Jupiter is one of the best third brain strategies, and it's definitely worth having it in your portfolio in long term. Even if you prefer to trade with some short-term strategies, it's always good to have a long-term strategy amongst the others, just to use it as a balance between the active and aggressive strategies, which can be used in short term. You can have Jupiter or ThirdBrain, FX or Athena, Thor with some of the currency pairs, just to have a balance between both short, long-term, aggressive and active strategies, and stable and predictable strategies with smaller but consistent profit. We will go back to the custom filter now, because as you probably know, every Friday we review the performance of our expert advisors in the past 7 days. So I will choose time frame 7 days. Click all, find, it will take a few seconds to appear the results, and we see the results according to the criteria we set. Actually, we only chose to set one criteria, time frame 7 days. Then I will click on pips in order to see the results by pips gained. And we see on first place Yumcax with USD NOK, which managed to gain 1,727 pips in 1 week. The max DD is not high, is only 186 pips. I'll click on the strategy in order to open the strategy card. The first thing we see is the amount of pips gained in the past 30 days, which is good. 2000 pips gained in the past month and only 960 pips. Max DD. The profit factor is good for the past month, 1.64. Let's have a look in the past week, because this is what we are interested in, the performance in the last 7 days. The performance, of course, is even better. We have 1,633 pips, and the profit factor is quite high, 5.44. Of course, the winning rate is also good, 64% positive trades closed. Let's have a look which is the next one in the rank list, in the top 3 rank list. It's Fulushu, USD Swedish krona, which has been 100% successful. We see 100% winning trades, no losses in the past week, and almost 1,600 pips gained, which is very good. In the past 30 days, Fulushu didn't gain very impressive amount of pips, 644. Let's have a look what is the performance in the past 2 weeks. It is very good, quite satisfying. We have 3,000 and almost 500 pips gained in the past 14 days. And let's go to the last 7 days. Yes, we see 1,000 and nearly 600 pips profit. The average amount of pips gained per trade is 399 pips, and the average profitable trade is 315 pips. Indeed, a very good performance in such a short period of time. For example, if you are trading with lot size 10 like we do with most of our practice accounts, this means that in 1 week you can gain around $1,600, which is very good profit. For example, if you have $10,000 initial balance, this could be almost 16% increase in your balance in 7 days. Considering the fact that the forex market is closed on Saturday and Sunday, this means that you can manage to increase your balance with 16% in 5 days, which is very good performance indeed. We will close the strategy card in order to see which was the other most successful expert advisor in the past week. This is Chameleon with USD Swedish krona. Again, very good amount of pips, 1,000 and nearly 300. The max DD is 520 pips. I will click on the strategy card and have a look at the results. In the past 7 days, we see that the strategy has been in drawdown the beginning of the month, but obviously recovering, and we see that we already have 1,300 pips gained, so definitely the drawdown period is well behind. The ratio profits to losses is also quite good, 2.63. So I'm expecting to see this strategy between the first 3 or 5 next Friday during our webinar. If we have a look at our portfolio, you will see that we already have one strategy Chameleon with USD Danish krona, which was with very good performance last Friday when we checked the results for the past 7 days. This week we also see chameleon with different currency pair, of course. Obviously, strategy chameleon is doing very well with different currency couples at the moment. What we will do, we will go to history and just to check the performance of the expert advisors we have in our portfolio in the past 7 days. And we will choose to see the profit losses per strategy and symbol bar, because in this way we can clearly see which expert advisor was profitable, which expert advisor has been with not so impressive performance or negative performance in the past week. From what we see here, we should definitely deactivate or remove MasterBrain FX. I will remove it from our portfolio. Of course, when you're using long-term strategies, you don't need to deactivate or remove them from your portfolio if you see 1 or 2 negative positions, because our long-term strategies always recover, and it's good to have it for long-term, to keep it for at least 3 or 6 months. But this is only a practice account which we use during our webinars, so the idea of this portfolio is not actually to keep the strategies for a long period of time. The idea is just to add the strategies with best performance in the past 7 days and to see what is their performance in the next 7 days. And of course, to show you that we have different options, for example, to remove or to deactivate the strategies. You can have different options and different ways to check the account activities, the positions closed, the days and the time the portfolio has been modified. You have a lot of settings that you can use. Of course, you can use the live signals. You receive live signals every 20-30 minutes. As you can see, the last one was sent at 20 past 12, which means that we just missed the live signal. But it's not necessary, and you're not obliged to get all the signals. You don't actually have to use them if you don't want. It's just another option that MirrorTrader platform provides. We'll go back to the history and see we have good performance with premium signals, so we will keep this strategy. We will also keep Jupiter, GBP, GPY. We've been just reviewing the performance with this particular currency pair, and we know that it's a long-term strategy. We will keep it in our portfolio. We will also keep chameleon, USD, Danish krona, and we will add the best one for this week, UMCAX. We'll add it to our portfolio with lot size 5. At the moment we have $3,368 balance. I'm talking about virtual money, not real money. And our exposure is 1 to 21, which is very good. We always try to keep the exposure around 1 to 20. So the exposure is quite good. What we see here, we can leave the strategies, we can leave our portfolio as it is for the moment and check the results next Friday during our webinar. So if you have some questions now regarding the Jupiter and its performance with different currency pairs, or regarding the strategies with best performance in the last 7 days, you can type your questions or you can ask, and I'll be more than happy to answer all of you.